did the FBI have confidential human sources embedded within the January 6th protesters?
Well, Congressman, as I'm sure you can appreciate, I have to be very careful about what I can say.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. I've worked in media my entire life, and let me tell you a cornerstone of something that I've learned. Words can lie. Words can be manipulated in order to make you think a certain way or do a certain thing. Images can't lie. Video doesn't lie. And that's why images and video are so powerful. Now, January 6th is a day that there were video cameras and cell phone cameras filming everything at every angle. Filming hundreds of thousands of different people. There were millions of people there that day, saying lots of things. Donald Trump was, of course, filmed by all of these cameras, saying march peacefully. Donald Trump saying at the White House, be peaceful, like during the riot, or go home. Video cameras capturing MAGA shaman, right? Buffalo horn guy, Jacob Chansley. He's become a friend of the show. Jacob Chansley praying peacefully and then wandering home when asked by the police officers. Video captured those things. Video camera also captured the single person, as far as we know, and we've looked through hundreds of thousands of hours of January 6th footage, the single person, the only person who's on camera saying we must go into the Capitol. One guy, his name's Epps. Now, outside of a federal building, a day before January 6th, on January 5th, Epps stood before a crowd and demanded that everyone go into the Capitol. Now, whatever his lawyers may say or whatever news articles may say, this is empirically true because it's on video. Thank God. It's good to know these things. Here it is.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
What?
No! Peacefully. Fed. Tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested.
Well, let's not say it.
We need to go. I'll say it.
All right.
We need to go in.
Shut the fuck up, Boomer.
To the Capitol.
Base Fed posting? All right. We need to go into the Capitol. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Monument Hill.
Stop speaking. We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction. Please spread the word.
All right, noted. Okay, but one more thing.
Yeah, so can we go up there? No?
When we go in,
are we going to get arrested if we
leave
go
this
up there?
here. You don't need to get
Should
shot.
you arrest us all?
There you go. There is the TikTok of Epps's moment by moment in the days preceding January 6th and the actions that led to the storming of the Capitol. And in fact, even the words storming of the Capitol were used by Epps in the lead up to that moment. Again, it's going to be hard to argue because he literally said them on camera. Observe.
Because you're my neighbor.
Then he leaned in and whispered something he apparently did not want to say out loud.
We're not here to fight, man. We're here to storm. I'm not kidding.
We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe. Be safe, brother.
That one.
I think it's worth pausing this. This is an incredible report by Laura Logan. It's worth pausing this and noting that nobody was saying this. Like, do you see how everyone responds? They respond by screaming Fed. They respond by laughing in his face. They respond by going, huh? What are you talking about? This was never the intention of anyone that showed up on January 6th. Certainly there was hooliganism and people that got out of hand and people that were confused and didn't know what was going on.
moment changed what we knew about Ray Epps that night, when he whispered storm the Capitol before it had happened, and echoed the official narrative before it was broadcast across the nation.
Of supporters of President Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Thousands storming the Capitol.
This mob that stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol. Stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Stormed the United States Capitol.
We ran it through forensic software that technical investigators use for analyzing audio and video to make sure we heard correctly and it had not been altered.
We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe.
And searched through hours of footage, countless news stories, Epps's FBI case documents, and his deposition before the January 6th committee to see if it had been discussed. With the exception of one writer we found on Substack, it hadn't.
So why would you be saying that? What would possibly be the explanation for that? And more importantly, for the Democrat Party calls the 9/11 of our day, the Pearl Harbor of our day, the Great Reichstag fire of our day, wouldn't you be a little concerned about holding into account the man who, in his own words, as you can see here, at January 6th, .house.gov, in his own testimony, says, oh yeah, I orchestrated it. Wouldn't you be concerned with this person? Wouldn't you be even the least bit curious to find out, like, why he was saying these things? I certainly am. No accusations, simply just playing for you what is available publicly in the public domain. So here he is, in his own words, Ray Epps, saying, I orchestrated it. There it is. I was in front with a few others. I orchestrated it. Okay. Well, if you said that you orchestrated September 11th, or if you orchestrated the attack on Pearl Harbor, you'd assume that our federal government would have extreme interest in figuring out who you were, why you were doing the things that you were doing, and why you would say those things to all of those people. At the very least, maybe inspire. You were clearly there to inspire them to go into the Capitol, because that's what you were telling. You were telling large crowds of people to go into the Capitol and to storm the Capitol. On tape. It's on tape. And then you were up at the very front of the barricades whispering in people's ears right before they rushed into the barricades. What were you whispering? Well, I don't know, but your own words say that you orchestrated it. There it is. Again, let's go. Why not go directly to the link? Here we go. You can see, you can go to the link here. See for yourself, right? We'll always show you the documents. So it is extremely curious when the man who orchestrated what Democrats are calling September 11th and the modern day Pearl Harbor attack gets so protected in the corporate press. Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of news happening right now. Ray Epps was just sentenced to no jail time, to a misdemeanor. Breaking Ray Epps sentenced to 1 year probation, $500 fine for telling January 6ers we need to go out of the Capitol. The famous shot right here of him whispering into this young man's ear, I don't know who this young man is, before this young man storms the gates of protecting the Capitol. Ray Epps, the man who claimed to have orchestrated the events of January 6th, has been sentenced to a year probation, no jail time, and a $500 fine. Wow. Also happening in D.C. today, according to Julie Kelly, Ray Epps will be sentenced by the chief judge of the D.C. District Court. Epps, unlike nearly all January 6 defendants, gets to phone into his attendance. He will not be present in court. Why? Why would you protect this individual? This is the guy who orchestrated your September 11th, right? Epps appeared remotely for the Washington, D.C. hearing. Chief Justice James Brosberg sentenced him. Federal prosecutors had recommended a 6-month sentence for Epps, who pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charge for disorderly and disruptive conduct in restricted building or grounds. Epps, in the lead up to January 6th, was caught on camera saying we need to go into the Capitol, texted his nephew, I orchestrated it, as protesters brief the building. Over 12,000 people have been arrested in connection with that day, with Biden's Justice Department sentencing around 450 defendants to a combined 850 years in prison by the end of 2023. Former Proud Boys leader Enrique Taro, who was not there on January 6th, was charged with seditious conspiracy for an organizing role, received the longest sentence of 22 years. His co-defendants, Zachary Real, Joe Biggs, and Ethan Nordo, all whom were Proud Boys affiliates, received between 15 and 18 years in prison. Journalist Owen Schroyer received 60 days in prison for being on the grounds of the Capitol on January 6th, with Biden prosecutors stating that he had broken a deferred prosecution agreement. He was released in December. Just insanity. This is insanity. But what's even more insane is when you see all of the people get on message. This is what concerns me the very most. This is what is the most terrifying. When you look through news about Ray Epps. So here's all I've done. All I've done here is I've Googled Ray Epps. All right? So I've Googled the name Ray Epps, and I've clicked on the news tab. So that's it. Clean search here. All right? Ray Epps, target of January 6th conspiracy theories. Ray Epps, subject of January 6th conspiracy theories. Ray Epps, falsely accused as a federal agent, conspiracy theories. Ray Epps, sentences January 6th conspiracy theories continue to dominate his life. Why are all these news headlines writing in such glowing and flowery terms about the guy who says he orchestrated January 6th as the only man, as far as I know? If there's more people, please show me the video. I'll gladly play it. But the only person, as far as I know, encouraging, ordering, commanding people to go into the Capitol and storm the Capitol. Why are they protecting him? January 6th rioter, the center of conspiracy theories, faces prison time. Prosecutors seek 6 months for rioter who became subject of false conspiracy theories. Prosecutors seek 6 month sentence for Ray Epps. Oh, this is the NBC News. This is the first article that doesn't effectively say that he is a victim. Here we go. Back to the AP. Prosecutors recommend 6 months in prison for a man at the center of the January 6th conspiracy theory. Ray Epps, Trump supporter targeted of January 6th conspiracy theory, pleads guilty to the Capitol charge. Have you ever seen anyone, any conservative, any Republican? Have you ever seen anyone that has been given such flowery victim status by the corporate media? And it goes on and on and on and on. The same thing over and over and over again. Victim, 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 victim. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Ray Epps, target of conspiracy theory, pleads guilty January 6th misdemeanor. It's wild, man. It's wild. So, does the crime fit the time? Well, I mean, listen, if you said that you orchestrated, in Ray Epps' own words, September 11th or the Pearl Harbor attack, which is what Democrats call this, well, then no, obviously. Like, you wouldn't give the person who orchestrated Muhammad Atta or Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, right? The person who orchestrated the September 11th attacks, that person's in Guantanamo Bay for the rest of their life. They're going to die in American custody forever on an island, trapped on a prison island. That's their fate, right? Ray Epps, writer or subject of conspiracy theories, pleads guilty. They say all of that, just the framing is insane. I've never seen anything like it. Ray Epps, the only January 6th protester who actually told people to go into the Capitol, has been officially sentenced to a year probation, $500 restitution, 100 hours of community service, while many J6 protesters are rotting in jail for non-violent crimes. Epps escapes prison entirely. This verdict seems wildly weak, says Elon Musk. For reference, the average sentence for a January 6th defendant who received is 3 years. For those who receive guilty pleas, like Epps did, it has been 2 years. Yet, for some reason, the guy who instigated the Capitol riot has escaped probation and community service. Not only that, but he was able to phone into a sentencing hearing, whereas most of the January 6th defendants had to be present in the courtroom. So, yep. It really is crazy. They're now trying to put Donald Trump in jail, of course, right? So the special prosecutor is trying to put Donald Trump in prison for the rest of his life for January 6th, when Donald Trump, in his own words, is saying march peacefully, respect our police, be peaceful. Like the exact opposite of what Ray Epps is saying. Thomas Massie getting so upset at Merrick Garland, obviously, for this double standard. DOJ sent one of these guys to jail for 15 years after he walked into the Capitol and took a selfie, then walked out. They sentenced the other guy to 1 year probation after he told people to march towards the Capitol and bragged about how he instigated the riot. Yeah, I don't know who this individual is, but that's exactly right. Thomas Massie asking questions about Ray Epps in the congressional hearing room. Let's go.
And the day, by the way, that was in reference to Ray Epps, and yesterday you indicted him. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? On a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, you're sending grandmas to prison. You're putting people away for 20 years for merely filming. Some people weren't even there yet. You got the guy on video who's saying go into the Capitol. He's directing people to the Capitol before the speech ends. He's at the site of the first breach. You've got all the goods on him, 10 videos, and it's an indictment for a misdemeanor? The American public isn't buying it. I yield the balance of my...
Members of Congress, please allow the witness to answer. The answer is the powerful part of the clip. Just my little piece of media advice, unsolicited media advice to members of Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, what can you say? There is no justice in this world. We live in a sunken world. We live in a fallen world. And there is no justice. The best that we can ask for, quite frankly, is a pursuit towards, in favor of justice. That is why you must vote to restore order. You must vote to hold this regime accountable, and you must vote to get answers to all of this. And that can't happen without the control of the chief executive in 2024. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay extremely empirically based. See ya.